Hello.
Hi.
So Sarah, what did you think of the pond?
It's warm enough we could take a dip, that's for sure.
How about the bathroom?
I'll love it even more when it's fully done, but it looks really great so far.
Fair enough criticism. Still need to finish that.
Do you want to tell everyone what we brought down this time?
Sure. We got a fancy composting toilet, so we're gonna install that. That'll be an upgrade. Okay. We're pretty happy about that. Our other one works well, but it just doesn't look that nice. It's kind of perfect. Too big. I'll explain why I'm going to put this where I'm going to put it, and then everyone could tell me I should have put it someplace else after. But I'm going to put it right here, right kind of in front of the door with enough space to still go through. And the reason why is I want this corner here available to be like a gear storage area with some cubbies and maybe a little shelf and some coat racks or something. So it's going to go right about there. Alright, so just so you can see, I can still get by here. This thing is not going to be fastened to the ground. Alright, so this little dot right here is where it came through, and I actually measured, but I did like a lot of math to kind of account for the siding and stuff, and I'm surprised that it actually came right where I wanted, because math isn't generally my strong point. Clear that. We got this siding is spaced up off of the side, so I got to drill another hole. I think that worked. That did not work. Close enough to maybe grab it with some pliers. Yes. All right, and it has like a trim flange. I think that's what that's for. So we'll use that. That's about where that will live. This thing came with floor tabs to fasten it to the floor. I'm not going to drill through my tile. Maybe someday if I'm feeling ambitious or if it really gets annoying being movable. Okay, so it's like 2 hours later. They give you a little plug with an inline fuse that would have made installing this very easy. And I either threw it away or lost it, or more than likely I put it someplace so I wouldn't lose it, thus losing it in the process. I don't have room in my brain to remember more things. I got MS-DOS, I doubled my space, I filled it up again, and anyway, I can't. Everyone under 40 is like, what? But I can't find it, so I'm gonna have to see if I can just hardwire this. I've had it apart once, and it was kind of all in there pretty tight, but we're gonna. Alright. So that, I think we can unscrew this. It appears that this thing is threaded. Some pliers, we need some pliers. Well, they put it in there really good. This is the thinnest. Well, it actually did kind of strip it. Alright. I doubt you guys can see that, but I do have these stripped. We're going to have to solder something onto them. Finally. Alright, I finally got this connected. It'll be a miracle if I can close this without ruining the connection, but we'll try it. It's only use one screw now because I had to go through one of the holes. Not that that's that important. Alright, okay, let's see if we've got it on without breaking it. So we got a DC sub panel here. That I'm just going to use to test. These are QO breakers, so you can use them for DC power up to 48 volts. My system's 24 volts. Let's take our wires in our little wire nut there. So we'll just strip these. Let's put our negative in our negative bus bar here. So this is meant for normal AC distribution, split phase. So this wire here is just making both sides the same phase because we don't have two phases. Normally this and this would be isolated 120 volt legs. Okay, we got it. Alright, so that's through there. Staple all this junk later. Okay. Can at least see if this works. Uh-oh. Doesn't appear to be working. Alright, let's fuse is good. Switch says on. Nothing's happening. So let's take this off and try and resolder it. Oh, look at that. I don't know. That was weird. Let's see if we can put this back on without shorting it. So now we'll, alright. Now we'll route this wire so it doesn't look so stupid. So I think what maybe happened is when I closed it before, I was preventing this fan from spinning at all. Something was hitting in there because it seemed pretty sensitive to that. So, all right, we got some double-sided tape here. No, that's down there like that. Okay, so that low voltage wire goes through the wall, goes across here, stapled. This is never going to get finished in here. This is my utility room. Goes to my DC sub panel. Breaker there, that's not needed because we got a 1 amp fuse in the fuse holder down there. So this isn't a problem being close to the shower because there's going to be a folding glass panel right here that is going to fold in that way when not in use, but it can fold out, and then there's going to be a curtain that follows roughly the contour of the shower, so any water will stay in here. Nothing is going to get on this, and even if it does, you know, it's low voltage, so it's not going to do anything bad, not going to kill anyone. Alright, so there's one more thing we can do here, and that is because this is a 24 volt system and that fan is 12 volt. We're going to convert the power from 24 to 12 volt. This thing can take 5 amps. It's protected on the 12 volt side by a 1 amp fuse, so that should be fine. So we're going to put this in this box and convert the power to 12 volts, so that thing hopefully lasts longer, because that was a pain. I don't ever want to have to do that again. Alright, so we need a 24 volt negative would be this one. Screwdriver's too big. Hold on a sec. This is supply right from our neutral bus. And 12 volt negative right here. Alright, 24 volt supply line, I guess you would say. Didn't like that. Probably blew that fuse. Suppose I could switch the breaker off. Killed everything. Alright, the little fan runs much quieter on 24 volts. I don't know if you guys can even hear that. Alright, let's test this thing just so you can see that it works, this little converter. So we'll do the 24 volt side. Alright, so 27.3, we're in absorption mode here. So the voltage is a little high. And now let's test the 12 volt side. So 12.17, so that's pretty good. That's right where I'd expect it to be. So there's one more thing I want to do here, but I can't do today because I don't have them. I want to take some Anderson connectors and just put them on this thing so that when you go to empty the toilet, it's much easier to disconnect. So we'll do that another day. This is just about done. What's nice about this versus the bucket that I'll show you in a bit is that you're not supposed to have to add new composting medium every time you use it. So you guys know I have a wood shop, so I have a lifetime supply of sawdust. The instructions are pretty specific about the composting medium that you're supposed to use, either Spangam, peat moss, or something else. I mean, I can't justify having all this sawdust and not using it, so I'm going to use sawdust. I'm not going to call the company and complain if it doesn't work right. I know if it doesn't work right, it doesn't work right, because I'm using something that they didn't say to use. But so basically you start with a bed of it, and then you turn it every time you use it, and the fan is supposed to run non-stop. I'm not going to use it before winter because it's just going to sit here. But in the summer, when we're getting a lot of use, this should be pretty nice. So this is not a sponsored video. I can say whatever I want about it. I bought this thing. Why did I buy it? Because honestly, it was the cheapest one on the market that I could find. Let's show you a picture of my existing toilet. This is my existing toilet, and it works great. It's literally a bucket with a box around it with a toilet seat, and in the winter we bring it inside. You use it, you put a scoop of sawdust on it, and it doesn't smell at all. I mean, it's the same way as a normal toilet. If someone goes in your bathroom and blows it up, it's going to smell, but once it's flushed and all the air changes, it doesn't smell anymore. It's the same way with that sawdusting toilet. So why would we actually spend money on this? Kind of a couple of reasons. One is it's not just me who uses the cabin. I'm fine with that toilet, but sometimes when we have guests, you know, they're like, do you have running water? And I'm like, yes. Do you have electricity? Yes. They're like, do you have a toilet? And I'm like, well, and now I can say, yeah, we have an RV toilet. Even though in the grand scheme of things you're still pooping in a fancy bucket, it's just a little bit easier of a sale to other people who aren't maybe as into this kind of off-grid living as I am. So I will follow up on this thing on how it works. It has a urine separator, which is a nice feature, because with the sawdust toilet, we would have women pee in it, but guys would pee outside. And this should be able to separate everything, so we don't have to do that. With the sawdust, it's kind of dry. It's air dried, kiln dried wood, so it's pretty dry. It can usually handle moisture, but if you have too much moisture in the bucket toilet, then it stops working as good as it should. So let's talk a little bit about safety. We've got some wires here. This is going to be a wet area. Don't be afraid of what you don't understand. So this is 1 amp at 12 volts. I could literally stand in this shower, taking a shower, and touch the positive and complete the circuit, and nothing would happen to me. So it's not a dangerous situation, but if you don't understand electricity, you might think it is. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next week.
Not real.
Yeah.